Honorable members, we will now observe a moment of silent prayer or meditation. Thank you. You may be seated. Secretary.
Order number 2, minutes of the previous sitting. 2.1, minutes of the 3rd December 2024. 2.2, minutes of the 5th December 2024. 2.3, minutes of the 27th February 2025.
Honorable members, before we commence with the business of the day, I wish to address a very disturbing matter that have been brought to my attention yesterday by the member of this House. I have been informed that there are ablution facilities around this House that have been reserved for my exclusive use. Neither myself nor the accounting officer have made those arrangements, as they are akin to apartheid era period where there were separate amenities for some groups of people. The Secretary is following up on the matter, and the official responsible for making those arrangements have been excused from discharging his House duties today until the matter is brought to finality. I thought it's important I raise it in the House so that anybody who do that again must know that that is not an order from any one of us. Honorable members, before we continue again, let me acknowledge Professor Shopole, who is at the gallery with the Northwest University student. We appreciate your presence in the House. I gave them a lecture sometimes last year, and I committed to invite them in the House. They are with us today. You are all welcome. Honorable members, I put before this House minutes of the 3rd December 2024 for adoption. Does the House agree?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, the minutes are now adopted. I now put before this House the minutes of the 5th December 2024 for adoption. Does the House adopt the minutes? Thank you very much, members. I now put before this House the minutes of the State of the Province address held on the 27th February 2025 for adoption. Does the House adopt the minutes?
Yes.
Thank you, honorable members. Secretary, you may read the next order, please.
Order number 3, announcements, tablings, and committee reports.
Honorable members, reports have been tabled through the ATC and referred to the relevant committee for scrutiny and further processing. Secretary, may you read the next order?
Order number 4, proceedings on bills. 4.1, Northwest Second Adjustment Appropriation Bill 2025, introduction and first reading. 4.2, Northwest Youth Entrepreneurship Service Fund Act Repeal Bill 2023, second and third reading.
Thank you very much, honorable members. I will now call on MEC for Finance, Honorable Mosenugi, to table introduce and give the first reading speech on the Northwest Second Adjustment Appropriation Bill 2025. Honorable MEC, you have 40 minutes.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Dr. Desbo Mohono, Honorable Deputy Speaker Ntate Maine, Honorable Premier Ntate Kagiso, Lazarus Mokgosi, EXCO members, Honorable Chief Whip of the Majority Party, and whips of all parties and committees, the Chairperson of the Portfolio Committee, Honorable Nathan Oliphant, Baagi ba Bokoni Bophirima dumelang. Honorable Speaker, I stand before this August House to table a second adjustment budget for the current fiscal year 2023-2024. The need for this second tabling of the adjustment budget comes as a result of engagement between National Treasury, National Department of Human Settlement, the provincial government led by the Premier, and Provincial Treasury and Human Settlement. The 2024-2025 second Northwest Provincial Adjustment Estimates of Provincial Revenue and Expenditure is tabled in terms of Section 31 of the PFMA, read together with Section 6.6.3 of Treasury Regulations. These sections support the processes that allow the MEC of Finance to table a second adjustment budget that provides for the appropriation of funds that have become available to the province post the tabling of the main adjustment budget. Honorable Speaker, a submission on the additional allocation to the Northwest Province was made by the National Department of Human Settlement and approved by the Finance Minister. And subsequently, the National Treasury published the Gazette number 52207, dated 3rd March 2025, which has facilitated the process of additional funding being made available for the provincial budget. The National Department of Human Settlement made this request to reallocate an additional 150 million to informal settlement upgrading partnership grant for the Northwest Department of Human Settlement for the financial year 2024-2025. Honorable Speaker, the Minister of Finance approved aforementioned amendment, which subsequently results in an increase to the provincial allocation contained in the Division of Revenue Act 2024. The increase in allocation has been published as per the Gazette stated above, dated the 3rd March 2025 in terms of Section 18 and 19 of the Division of Revenue Act. A second adjustment budget is intended to appropriate the 150 million additional funding for the informal settlement upgrading partnership grant to the Department of Human Settlement. No other additional allocation have been received for the 2024-2025 second adjustment budget from National. In this context, major spending pressures in the department must continue to be funded mainly from departmental baselines, reprioritization, or shifting of funds between programs and economic classifications. The reallocation of the above funds has resulted in the need for the province to table this second adjustment to appropriate this additional funding into the Provincial Revenue Fund. Resultantly, the set grant allocation is increased from the first adjustment appropriation of 357 million to 507 million due to the 150 million reallocation. As a result, the 2024-2025 adjusted allocation for the Department of Human Settlement increased from 1.894 billion to 2.044 billion. These changes resulted in the total 2024-2025 provincial fiscal framework increase from 54.159 billion to 54.310 billion from the tabling of the second adjustment appropriation bill. Having assessed the spending performance of the Department of Human Settlement to date, inclusive of the non-financial performance, the department have demonstrated improved capacity to spend based on the existing plan, and this increased allocation bears testimony of the confidence shown by the National Department of Human Settlement in approving this grant revised business plan to accommodate additional allocation. Honorable Speaker, before I conclude, I would like to make a humble plea to this August House. This tabling of the second adjustment comes at a time where the financial year is nearing to the end. We effectively have a week or two left to finalize all payments against the budget. The humble plea that we would like to make is for the provincial legislature to consider suspending some of the rules, but within the rules, in relation to the approval processes that would enable the Provincial Department of Human Settlement to spend this additional allocation. The kind consideration of the House in relation to this request will enable the department and by extension the Northwest Province to fulfill its mandate of delivering decent human settlement to the people of the province, considering the challenges that we have experienced in the past where the sector budget was cut and the province was severely affected. And we believe this will address the pressures that have been experienced by the department and as a result yield the much needed service delivery in the sector in communities. Honorable Speaker, I take this opportunity to thank you and the House for giving me the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, MEC Mosenugi. The bill stand referred to the Portfolio Committee on Premier and Finance for scrutiny and further processing. I will now call on the chairperson for Premier and Finance, Honorable Oliphant, to present the committee report on the Northwest Youth Entrepreneurship Services Fund Act Repeal Bill 2023 and move for the adoption thereafter. Honorable Oliphant, you have 10 minutes.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Premier, Honorable Members, good morning. I will this morning be dealing with the primary task of the repeal bill of the Northwest Youth Enterprise Services Act. Honorable Speaker, the bill seeks to repeal the Northwest Youth Enterprise Services Fund Act 2016, Act number 6 of 2016, thus disestablishing the related Northwest Youth Enterprise Services Fund. The effect to the Act was the establishment of the fund, which name came into operation on the 1st of September 2016. The fund was established as a PFMA Schedule 3C public entity in terms of the relevant provisions of the Northwest Youth Enterprise Services Fund Act, with the expectation that it must have, among others, a board and staff to establish and administer the fund. Honorable Speaker, the process that was followed was that the Northwest Youth Enterprise Services Act Repeal Bill 2023 was formally referred by the Honorable Speaker, Dr. D. Muhono, to the Portfolio Committee on Premier and Finance for consideration and reporting. The Portfolio Committee received a presentation from the Office of the Premier in respect of the Northwest Youth Enterprise Services Fund Act Repeal Bill 2023 at a meeting held on the 22nd of August 2024. Following the briefing, the committee embarked on public hearings throughout the province on the 30th of August 2024, as follows: in the Ngaka-Modiri-Mulema District, Madibogo Community Hall, which had 224 participants; Bojanala District, Mokgosi Sports Ground Park Zone 1, Unit 2 of Mokgosi, which had 198 participants; Dr. Kenneth Kaunda District Dream Park Hall in Potchefstroom, which had 23 participants; and Dr. Rutsi Mompati District in the Ipilecheng Multipurpose Center in Swazirenica, which had 173 participants. In total, Madam Speaker, there were 825 participants in the various districts. Madam Speaker, I'll now be dealing with the recommendations by the committee. In respect of recommendations in relation to the repeal bill, Madam Speaker, the Portfolio Committee recommended that the Oversight Committee responsible for COCTA, led by the Honorable Makgakgane, should engage the department on the establishment of youth desks in each and every municipality in the province. The Office of the Premier working with the relevant department to then deal with municipalities for ensuring that the LED offices promote youth development initiatives. I think it's important to also highlight that the Department of Economic Development, Conservation and Tourism also play a significant role in respect of youth enterprise development or youth development under the broader umbrella. That the Northwest Youth Development Agency communicate with the Office of the Premier in respect of the engagements relating to young people across the province. The Office of the Premier must then develop a program jointly with the NYDA to go and meet with young people across the province or in their various municipalities in terms of dealing with developmental issues relating to young people. The honorable members to extensively engage further with the relevant youth formation stakeholders in the Northwest Province on the bill before concluding the process. That would have been done, Madam Speaker. The Office of the Premier must make sure that all departments present or brief the committee on all programs they have relating to youth. That means each specific department represented by the various members of the executive committee must then ensure that they have a youth component reflecting clearly, Honorable Premier, in their departments. That the legislature should then have an online engagement site for young people within the province, that there then be established NYD offices or a presence of NYD offices in each local municipality so that young people could access these services, that the Office of the Premier and the committee must then arrange a stakeholder engagement meeting with all organized groups, deliberating further on the Act, the repeal bill, before the adoption. Madam Speaker, these tasks have been done primarily by the committee in terms of the numbers that we have given to the House. That online engagement should further be engaged as an ongoing process, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, that is then the conclusion of the work of the committee responsible for the Premier and Finance, and we therefore table the Northwest Youth Enterprise Services Repeal Bill. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Oliphant. You have saved us a lot of time. No, thank you very much, Honorable Oliphant. Does the House adopt committee report on the Northwest Youth Entrepreneurship Service Fund Act Repeal Bill 2023?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Honorable Member, the committee report is now adopted. I will now evoke Rule 243, subsection 1, to allow the House to consider the principle and detail of the bill and read the bill for the second time. Does the House concur? Secretary, may you read the bill for the second time.
This bill shall be called the Northwest Youth Entrepreneurship Services Fund Act Repeal Bill 2023.
Thank you very much. I will now read the roll call in terms of Rule 245 to determine the quorum of the House. Honorable Babuile, Honorable Bukhatsu, Honorable Bukhatsu, you guys who looked down this morning, it's a beautiful morning. Be alive. Honorable Butswe, thank you. Honorable Tabampe,
Speaker.
thank you. Honorable Danji, Honorable Dayo,
I'm present, Speaker.
Honorable Dikolomela, Honorable Groenewald,
Present, Speaker.
Honorable Kuno,
Present, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Lehari, Honorable Lenkopane, Honorable Makhakhane,
Kiteng Speaker.
Honorable Maine,
Present, Speaker.
Honorable Makukua,
Present Speaker.
Honorable Mangope,
Kifano Musa Khotla.
Honorable Matse,
Present Speaker.
Honorable Mudise,
Ke teng Mosakgotla.
Honorable Moema,
Present Speaker.
Honorable Mohono, I'm present. Honorable Mokgosi,
Present Speaker.
Honorable Mukua,
Ke hano Speaker.
Honorable Molapisi,
Ke teng Mosakgotla.
Honorable Murweng,
Present Speaker.
Honorable Musenuchi,
Present Speaker.
Honorable Mutsumi, Honorable Khosho,
Ke teng Speaker.
Honorable Sambata, Honorable Sibihwe,
Teenwoordig achtbare.
Honorable Sonakile,
Present.
Honorable Sonti,
Corner speaker.
Shalukon, Honorable Steenkamp,
Present Speaker.
Honorable Stayo,
Ek is vandag teenwoordig, Speaker.
yeah. Honorable Tlapi, Honorable Tsulo,
Mo palong mo tlotlegi Mosakgotla.
thank you. Honorable Hastian,
Present Speaker.
Honorable Walwon,
Teenwoordig, Speaker, dankie.
Honorable Williams, Honorable Babuile,
Ke teng Speaker.
anyone who arrived after, I didn't call you Honorable Oliphant.
Achtbare Speaker, dit lyk vir my dat u vergeet het dat ek 'n lid is van hierdie
Jy wil nie
wetgewer.
weet wat het gebeur hierso, jy wil nie weet nie. Thank you, Honorable Oliphant. Is there any member that I have omitted mistakenly? Thank you very much, honorable members. I have satisfied myself that we have majority of members in the House to consider the bill in accordance with Rule 245, subsection 1 of the standing rules. The House will now adopt the bill clause by clause. Clause number 1. Does the House agree? Yes. Heban. Clause number 2.
Agreed.
Is the youth bill, Honorable Babuile, that we are adopting, not the budget. Clause number 3.
Agreed.
Clause number 4.
Agreed.
Clause number 5.
Agreed.
Clause number 6.
Agreed.
The years have it, honorable members. I will now call on Premier to give the third reading speech if the Premier saw it fit and move for the adoption of the bill. Premier, you have 10 minutes.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. May I just take this opportunity to thank the committee and Honorable Nathan Oliphant, members of the committee and members of the legislature who participated and deliberated on the amendment, and therefore I move for adoption.
Thank you very much, Premier. Thank you so much. Honorable members, does the House concur that the bill be read for the third time?
Yes. No.
Secretary, may you read the bill for the third time?
This bill shall be called the Northwest Youth Entrepreneurship Services Fund Repeal Act 2025.
Thank you. The Northwest Youth Entrepreneurship Service Fund Act 2025 will be submitted to the Premier for assent. Secretary, you may read the next order, please. Okay, all right. Hold on. Honorable Steenkamp.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. The DA would like to make a declaration on the bill, please.
Okay.
Speaker, yeah, thank you for the opportunity. As such, although it was part of the intent at the end of the whole process, the DA feels very strongly that this bill should not be repealed because it can be sanctioned with various ways to actually bring it back into line for the purposes it was originally designed for. So in that sense, the DA cannot support the process of repealing the bill. Thank you.
Thank you, honorable members. The declaration has been noted. Thank you very much. Honorable Sibikwe?
No, thanks. I think we'll be setting a bad precedent going forward. If the bill has been accepted, it cannot be that after the bill has been accepted, there is a move on a different view in terms of what would have been approved by the House. I therefore wish that we don't accept it and just take note of what they have just raised, because it has been accepted and there was no dissenting view in terms of that.
Honorable Speaker, I can hear you. That's why I've noted the speaker. I just noted what the speaker said. I've got to make sure that I don't just close the members out, but I've noted what the speaker has said, understanding the procedure and of the House on how matters should be processed. Thank you very much. Secretary, you have read that. This bill shall be called the Northwest Entrepreneurship Service Fund Repeal 2025. The Northwest Youth Entrepreneurship Service Fund Act 25 will be submitted to the Premier for assent. Secretary, you may read the next order, please.
Order number 4, response by the Premier on the debate of the State of the Province address.
Thank you very much. I will now call on the Premier to respond to the debate on the State of the Province address. Honorable Premier.
Honorable Speaker, Dr. Mohono, Honorable Deputy Speaker Remaine, Leader of Government Business, MEC Viola Mutsumi, members of the Executive Council present, Chief Whip of the Majority Party Mokgosi, leaders of opposition parties present, honorable members, good morning. Honorable Speaker, it is a great honor for me to be afforded this opportunity to respond and clarify some of the issues raised by honorable members in a SOPA debate which was held in this August House some days ago. Let me take this opportunity to express my gratitude to all members who participated in this debate and some words of counsel emanating from that debate. As members, we are leaders of different political organizations who have been bestowed with the responsibility to contribute to our national democratic project and in particular, the socio-economic development of our people. We are leading at a period when our province is inundated with a number of challenges. Therefore, it is important that we channel our energies to address issues confronting our communities than resorting to some political grandstanding statements which do not help with anything. Our people are looking at us to provide them with solutions and not obfuscation. Honorable members, it's important that you should have used the debate to supplement the SOPA with tangible proposal or solutions. But I can stand here and say, we failed decimally to provide any substantive alternative policy proposals to what we tabled on the 27th of February. Honorable Botswe, yeah, oh. No, I struggle to understand the points he raised or you raised in the course of the debate, particularly with regard to SOPA being a rhetoric statement with a lot of repetitions. You further claim that we are not a nation at work that works for all. Your assertion lacks justification in that we made significant strides in turning the tide against historical injustices inflicted on our people by more than 300 years of colonial rule and apartheid. Our country is a better place to live in than it was before 1994. For the mere fact that you are able to sit in this house and participate in our nation building project centered on participatory democracy bears testimony to our ongoing efforts to live up to the commitment we made to establish a society based on democratic values with the right to freedom of expression as enshrined in our Constitution. This debunks your unwarranted assertion towards the successes of this government. This SOPA gave an account of previous pronouncement, particularly on what has been achieved, the challenges we face, as well as the remedial action plans that we are implementing to find solutions to these matters. In relation to the latter, I detailed a litany of interventions, measures we are employing to create jobs, alleviate poverty, address road infrastructure backlogs, water and sanitation, as well as dealing with scourge of gender-based violence. I also referred to the revitalization of both the George Dick Munsiwa and Pilanesberg Airport, as well as investment of over 100 million rands.
Honorable Premier, may you take your seat? Honorable Mwema. What
Thanks
is
a
the
lot,
point of
Speaker.
order?
Is the Premier willing to take a question?
Premier, are you willing to take a question?
Ali the Premier, wait.
Honorable Mwema, may you take your seat?
You'll arrive unless if
We are
you're
the
contesting
Premier
the
League.
Premier. Are you
Honorable
contesting the
Mwema.
Premier?
Honorable Mwema, may you take your seat? Premier, are you willing to take a question?
No, ma'am.
Thank you very much. You may proceed.
There is no mention, Honorable Speaker, of any investment worth this amount in the previous SOPA. Therefore, you cannot or contend that this policy statement is a repetition of previous SOPA. Your statement is also found wanting. Moreover, Honorable Botswe, you referred to both the Joburg and Habu TB Health Service Center as electioneering campaigns for the governing party, and it is not true. The rollout of health infrastructure projects to build new facilities contradicts your submission. Let me remind you that 2025 is not an election year, and there will be new health facilities that we will be opening as explained in our SOPA. This is aimed at ensuring that our people have access to healthcare services as well as the full realization of the national health insurance. You went further to say there is no clear plan to address unemployment. We are not oblivious to the economic conundrum, nor are we resting on our laurels to find a permanent solution to it. The over 140,000 jobs opportunities which will be created in the next 5 years encapsulates permanent jobs. So it is not true that these are only temporary jobs as you allege. We have demonstrated our commitment to create jobs by luring investment with the creation and preservation of the 10,000 jobs by Harmony Gold and China African Precious Metals with a cumulative investment over 10 billion rands, which Honorable Hosho spoke about. Several more job creation initiatives are underway, such as our collaboration with the South African National Defence Force, Pilar Jordan Pty Ltd, and South African National Service Institute, where 3,000 young people will be trained in preparation for the job market. This includes 13,000 young people who are participating in various fields such as the National Youth Service, SMME development, and underwent training for various job opportunities. Water challenges in these areas, as you mentioned, are being attended to, and we have set aside, like we said, 450 million to the areas I alluded to in my address. You further claim that there is no tangible plan to address the scourge of gender-based violence. When we had announced that a new center will be opened in Potchefstroom this year to add to the 3 existing fully functional shelters to deal with the scourge. It is interesting to poke holes in the 22 jobs that we have shared in the 4th quarter, while failing to acknowledge the more than 50,000 jobs that were created in the 3rd quarter. This effectively means over 30,000 jobs between the 2 quarters were created and preserved. You mentioned capacity challenges in the Unit 9 clinic in Mahikeng. I spoke to MEC for Health. We have sent a team on a finding mission to realize all your allegations, and we will intervene as expected. Honorable Sonakile, it is actually laborious to listen to a distorted narrative on Tintswalo, which has been hashed by your organization to try and erase the achievements of the past 30 years. You indeed lack self-contradiction while thriving on historical revisionism and denialism. Your contagious of liberal thoughts contradict the United Nations that declared apartheid as a crime against humanity. In reversing the deep-rooted effects of apartheid, we are deliberate in implementing various socio-economic measures to cushion our people against this historical injustice and afford them the opportunity to see their lives changing for the better. I implore you, Honorable Sonakile, to read upon on the notion of a developmental state as advanced by a renowned British economist, John Maynard Keynes, when he advises that states to dictate the economic trajectory on their countries than leaving them to the markets. We will never do that. So the interventions we are making on the National Schools Nutrition Program, scholar transport, non-paying school fee, housing, access to health care, and free higher education, amongst others, is not a creation of a welfare state, as you want us to believe. These are socio-economic policies aimed at creating an equitable society where all human beings thrive and can live in peace. To give impetus to this assertion, this province and our country has achieved more than any other post-colonial country or countries undergoing decolonization on our beloved continent. Scholarly articles in African political economy by professors such as the late Thandikwe Mkandawiri and Ali Mazrui will be good reference points in understanding this subject better and how a nation has defied the odds and fed in reversing colonial apartheid injustices. in 1996, for an example, the national senior certificate results were hovering around 50%. And today, as you are aware, we are sitting at 87%. 30 years ago, access to piped water in the Northwest was at 20%. And today, just over 80% of our residents continue to benefit from the rollout of our water infrastructure project. That have been successfully implemented across the province. And where there are challenges, we are intervening. The provisioning of electricity has increased significantly from 58.1% in 1996
Honorable
to
Dale.
over 94.7% to date. What a significant progress in the lives of our people, and especially the marginalized. We do, however, acknowledge the interruptions due to load shedding, but we are comforted by the work done by the Minister of Electricity and Energy in this regard.
Speaker.
Similarly, we have built more than 19,000 houses for our...
May you take your seat?
Thank you, Speaker. I rise on Rule 68. I want to check if the Premier can take a question.
Honorable Premier, are you able to take a question?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Honorable Sonakile, you are rising on which?
No, Speaker, I'm rising on Rule 74. I'm rising on Rule 74 on a point of order.
Okay.
I want to check with the Premier that the Premier, can we organize an appointment for him with the residents of Lihuruts? Because to come and speak here and fail to go to the people, it's a problem. He's speaking here about water. Those residents there waiting for him. They want him at the address. Instead of Guamaka house or Remetiate. I allocate kwa afoswe ka di rubber bullet. I will say we are. In the house our 50 but
Speaker, again, nete ba holo ba tebetso ka di rubber bullet ko
ya kana kwa ya go be premier member. No premier.
Members, the decorum of the House. Honorable Premier, you can continue.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. We have said when there are problems, we are intervening. Similarly, we have built more than 19,000 houses for our people in the last 5 years, and will continue to build more during this term, as explained by MEC Molapisi. Moreover, Lydia Mary forms part of more than 88% of our people who live in houses and conducive accommodation facilities built by this government to restore dignity to our people. The announcement of a sewer pipeline in Ramosadi in 2024 was a maintenance project aimed at addressing leakages that spilled into the yards of the residents. The 101 million that I mentioned in my SOPA is the second phase to alleviate challenges related to the pipeline. Therefore, there is no repetition here, as claimed Madam Speaker. At least, Honorable Sonakile, have a semblance of objectivity when you debate and acknowledge where there is success. By the way, my speech writers are products of a deliberate effort by government and NGO where I volunteer invest in our people. Let me assure you, Honorable Sadakile, they are graduates and postgraduates from globally recognized institutions of higher learning through bursaries and financial schemes, aid schemes of our government. Unfortunately, I can't say the same with some of your leaders in your own parties. Therefore, tell no lies, claim no easy victory, as remarked by Amika Cabral. Honorable Mangope, your wisdom and counsel is appreciated. It demonstrates your love and passion for our people. We will definitely incorporate some of your profound suggestions when we develop our program of action. Thank you very much for your wisdom and counsel. But I want to make a very distinct point. It is also not correct or true to say we are disconnected with our people. In fact, the accelerated service delivery program we call Tunzalero Reload afforded us an opportunity to engage with our people, listen to them, and address their challenges on a regular basis. The Ntime Umpele Ngwana initiative will also add on this excellent work that has been executed by the Tunzalero Reloaded. Honorable Mangope, the current smart city development is not a diversion of some sort, but efforts to partner with private sector to build cities, sustain our infrastructure, and create jobs for our people. This project is aimed at restoring the dignity of our people who are victims of land dispossession. They are direct beneficiaries of a land restitution program which will culminate into more investment to the tune of over 20 billion. Honorable Khosho, we agree with you that our state-owned entities need to be repositioned to drive our industrial plan and developmental trajectory. Work is currently underway by a panel of experts in this regard, and I believe that by end of the financial year, they will have completed their submissions in light of the inputs made during our recent Lekgotla. In relation to the special economic zones, a business case and an application have been made with a legislative imperative for a decision by the Department of Trade and Industry. The revival of our township and village economy and many other strategies we have developed, such as collaboration with the private sector, will find expression through the Provincial Growth and Development Strategy, and sound measures will be implemented to see the full realization of this plan as proposed by Honorable Kuno. We will be collaborating with the Department of Small Business Development to ensure that our people benefit from the recent announced 500 million fund aimed at ensuring that they reclaim the spaza shop market. MEC Lenkopane will give a detailed breakdown on this in her budget speech. Honorable Kuno, there is interest by mining companies to invest in our road infrastructure and related projects through their corporate social investment and their social labor plans. As in the case with the 3 mining companies I acknowledged during the state of the province. Honorable Malapisi, you have thoroughly listened, read, and understood the state of the province. The 8-point challenges as proposed plans you mentioned encapsulate what is contained in the state of the province. This will include, but not limited to, a development fund which has been allocated 24 million rands to drive our industrial policy. Our intervention in municipalities through our local government turnaround strategy. The Agri-Hub, which we recently launched as part of our SOPA activity to help grow the agricultural sector and respond to food security challenges in this province. Job creation, poverty alleviation, skills audit to build an ethical, developmental, and capable state. Fighting crime, corruption, and related case of malfeasance. Honorable Tsolo, we acknowledge challenges that we experience by the NTI employees, and we are hard at work to turn around the situation in that entity. And I think you are aware that the matter is sub judice, it's a court matter. There have been efforts made to settle the outstanding salaries of workers, and progress has been made in this regard. MEC Moreng will provide this House with a full detailed account when delivering the departmental policy statements. Honorable members, we have given the SOPA a more human face by committing to our people that we'll never forsake them, and we don't take the trust that they have placed on our shoulders very lightly. As the founding father of Tanzania said, Julius Nyerere once remarked, if real development is to take place, the people have to be involved. Honorable members, we have equally demonstrated our commitment to work with the traditional leadership and communities to address service delivery backlogs in our villages and townships, which will still bear the scars of our injustice and our past. This includes the partnership we have initiated with the private sector to traverse this journey with us, as well as youth formation, labor organization, vulnerable groups, academia, faith-based organization, and civil society. This journey is not for the faint-hearted. It is and should be the collective effort by all of us to see the lives of our people moving forward, to champion the transformation agenda, and to develop concrete solutions for the betterment of their lives. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Premier. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Honorable Premier. We appreciate your response. Hope the members will get they will get an invite in your office. Anytime you want to sit with the Premier, you can have coffee with him and discuss other things. But thank you very much, Premier, for the response. Honorable members, let me once more thank our guest, our student. I think you will know the practicality of the theory that you are getting in class every day. It will make some life easier for you to understand better how government is run. Honorable members, our guest, you will be ushered where you will have something before you go back to school. And honorable members, you know where you go after the sitting. The sitting stand adjourned until the 11th of March 2025.